Where the seed was sown, right here after a USA fight in Atlantic City. Evander Holyfield and Dwight Cowie. And now, just about 6 months later, Holyfield is one fight away. The stepping in the ring for a championship fight would become the first Olympian from 1984 to fight for a championship. And there is his trainer, Lou Duva, as we are just about ready. As you can see, Holyfield has his fight face on. For the introductions of our main event, let's go to ring announcer Bobby Stevens.
Ladies and gentlemen, our main event, 10 rounds in the cruiserweight division. Our referee for this bout, Pete Giarusso. Introducing first in the blue corner, wearing the blue trunks with the white trim, weighing in at 188.25 pounds, from Cleveland, Ohio, with a professional record of 18 wins, 11 losses, 15 knockouts. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Terry Mims. And in the red corner, wearing the white trunks with the red trim, weighing in at 190 pounds, from Atlanta, Georgia, with a professional record of 10 wins, no losses, 7 knockouts. Ladies and gentlemen, the ever-popular Evander, real deal, Holyfield.
You young man of a box in Louisiana before? All right? We go by the round system here, young fellow. Round system. You can use a round for a low blow, unsportsmanlike conduct. Is that clear? Now, in the clinches, you can work, and I expect you to work. And when I say break, I want a good, clean break. Now, this is a tough game of not being dirty, and I'm not going to put up with any dirty work. You hear? So shake hands and come out fighting.
And the tail of the tape, 10 years difference in age, both at 6'1". Holyfield 190, Mims 188.25, and you see the reach advantage of Holyfield, but the Randy's reach gives the advantage to Mims.
Mims has very long arms, but Holyfield with that wide back.
Holyfield 10-0, 7 knockouts. He has knocked out his last 5 opponents. And Mims, the veteran, who admits to the age of 33, has a record of 18-11 with 15 knockouts. And he, for his entire career, has been fighting heavyweight opponents, although he is really a cruiserweight or a light heavyweight. So he has basically been out of position for his whole professional career, fighting the likes of Tex Cobb, Michael Dokes, Carl the Truth Williams, and now he is in to try to give a test to Evander Holyfield. And Mims, you got to realize for him, this is his shot to finally get some recognition.
You talk about comeback stories. Terry Mims is one of those comeback stories. In May of 1980, he was riding a motorcycle. He was hit by a car. He suffered a fractured spine, pelvis, a broken tailbone. At first, they didn't think he'd live. Then they said he'd never walk again, and here he is fighting a main event tonight.
And he mentioned to say hello to his road dog, Leonard Adams, his good friend, who was there to help save his life that night. Say hello to Leonard Adams of the main post office in Cleveland. One of the reasons that Mims is here to tell the tale, to step in the ring with Evander Holyfield. Holyfield 5 straight knockouts, and he must get by Terry Mims tonight. And if he does, a date is set up for July 12th against Dwight Cowie. And we notice that Cowie is not here tonight watching on. Cowie has been working out here in Louisiana, and some fights we've been here, he has been at ringside. And perhaps he is tuned in and watching his opponent in his next fight. And it is Evander Holyfield with the left hand. Holyfield is now ranked number 3 by the WBA, number 4 by the IBF, and number 5 by the WBC.
Out of Mims, 15 knockouts. 7 have come in the first round when he has fought cruiserweights. There was that stiff jab of Holyfield, which is rapidly turning into one of the best in boxing in any division.
Holyfield is all offense, all over his opponent, and here closing in on Mims in the corner. Holyfield, remember, a gold medalist did not, a medal did not win the gold in the Olympics, but a bronze medal. Very controversial. He was disqualified in the semifinal round when he was hitting on the break. Very much as you watch that fight, the victor, but was disqualified in the fight and had to settle for the bronze. And that certainly also has been part of the inspiration of Holyfield. He has become the first Olympian, or appears to be, that will get a title fight.
Many people feel he's just one of the best all around of the Olympians. As some pressure is just being put on. There's no swelling there. He got hit with a few jabs, but that's preventive medicine right there. As the man outside the ring, George Benton whispers in his ear, and Ace Murata, the cut man, just applies the ice, and Captain Lou Duva in front of him, a little refresher.
One of the reasons he's ready for a title fight is because he is fighting in the cruiserweight division. He has had only 10 professional fights. He's won them all. But Lou Duva feels that he is ready for Howie. There you see face-to-face Lou Duva, who has handled many champions, has many of the Olympians in his stable. And right now, this could be the man from the 1984 Olympics who could be wearing the gold as a pro. The first of the 84 Olympians.
I believe that Pernell Whitaker, the lightweight on the team, was making the most progress, but then he suffered a fractured foot, came back from that, and in his comeback fight suffered a fractured hand. So his progress has been slowed down. He'll be back in action very soon. Right now, Mark Freeland has really stepped on the gas, and he's rated in the top 10 in the welterweight division.
And what a fight he has coming up against a guy you've seen so many times here on USA, the Matador, John Manduga, the stablemate of Mr. Mugabe.
And that shows you the progress of all these Olympians.
Another great matchup.
Should be a very good fight. 24-0 now, I believe it is, for Manduga. And you see the left hand giving Holyfield just a slight bit of problem because he's the same size as Mims, and Mims has that longer jab, and it's not that he's hurting Holyfield with it, he's just upsetting him a little bit. Some good work, though, as Holyfield's getting in, and he learns every time he steps in the ring.
And that's one reason also he's fighting a veteran, the likes of Terry Mims, trying to learn a few of the little tricks that I'm sure he feels he'll be seeing against Dwight Cowie.
Cowie much shorter, about 5'7". He comes in with that crab-like defense, holding the right hand up by his left ear, dragging that right foot behind him. Holyfield said he's got some left hooks and some uppercuts for him.
Mims was 71-2 in his fine amateur career, including a victory over one Tony Tubbs. And one of the highlights for Mims growing up in Cleveland there is Tyrell Biggs, pretty good friend of Evander Holyfield, as he looks on, continues to nurse his collarbone.
Olympic super heavyweight champion who's now a stablemate.
Biggs has not stepped in the ring since his victory over Jeff Sims when he broke the collarbone and so courageously went on for the victory. Lou Duva not allowing him in the ring for another 2 weeks.
What a body shot with the left hook that was. More or less it went unnoticed, but Mims certainly felt it.
Second round action, our main event scheduled for 10. As Evander Holyfield is working on a string of 5 consecutive knockouts, 7 in his last 8 fights. He is 10-0 with 7 KOs. 20 seconds to go in the second round. Pete Russo, the third man in the ring. And Mims trying to tie up Holyfield. There's a quick left to the head. Third round action. In the ring. Landmark Hotel in Metairie, Louisiana, right outside of New Orleans. This Evander Holyfield, who is this fight away from a title shot, going up against the veteran Terry Mims out of Cleveland, Ohio. Holyfield hails from Atlanta.
And you can see that experience that Mims has. He just is causing Holyfield to have a lot of problems as he paws out with the left hand, as he ties him up on the inside.
And gets away from the lunging left of Holyfield.
Holyfield not really going after his man as if this is a title fight. I'm sure if he hurts Kawi like that, he'll be after him. He's got a lot of rounds in front of him. That was a shove down. The legs of Mims are already starting to go. He's taking some wicked body shots.
And now we're doing some work on his gloves. Some tape coming off. Pete Giarrusso checking the gloves of Holyfield.
Mims had his biggest victory in January of 1980 when he went over to Italy and took on heavyweight contender Alfio Righetti, rated number 6 in the world at that time. And he beat Righetti. When he came back to the United States, he really figured that the world rating organizations, the WBA, the WBC, would take notice of him. The thing is, they never did, and he became a very bitter man. He felt that the boxing establishment had something against him. And quite frankly, I don't know what it was. They just never gave him his due.
I think he would agree with you. He feels also he never really was a heavyweight. And the only fights that he could get were in the heavyweight division. Thought that the lighter weights, the cruisers, and perhaps the light heavyweights not interested to take him on. There's a right by Holyfield that slips in. A great combination. He got 3-4 punches in there. Here in the third round, Holyfield coming on against Terry Mims.
Holyfield only fighting at about 75%, I'd say, tonight. Not turning on the combinations the way he normally does. Seems as if he's content that he wants to get some rounds of work in, as at times he's trying to toy with Mims. And it's very bad to do that because the two of those guys could step into a clinch. The heads can crack around and Holyfield will step back with a cut. And there goes that summer title fight against Kawi.
In the ring right now, Holyfield is fighting Mims, but thinking Kawi. 25 seconds left in the third round.
I'm sure that's what Holyfield has in his mind now. A little bit of Kawi and a little bit of Mims.
Under 15 seconds in the third round. Holyfield's last 2 fights have gone a combined total of 5. And a right again on Mims as he chases him. Out for the 4th round against Terry Mims. Mims with a record of 18-11. Holyfield charging his opponent.
Well, Captain Lou Duva told Holyfield at this point, come on, get this guy out of there. We'll see if he can do it. What brain trust around Holyfield is Lou Duva, Ace Murata, one of the best cutmen in the business, George Benton, the trainer, Tommy Brooks. Got the king of consultants in there, Shelley Finkel, and his manager is Kenny Sanders. Ken Sanders, he's a car ownership. He has a dealership down in Atlanta, Ken Sanders Buicks, and he's bringing Holyfield in to teach him the whole business. And very soon, Holyfield will have his own dealership.
Well, he's certainly dealing it out now in these last 2 rounds to Terry Mims. Holyfield coming out of the Olympics.
Sanders, one of those beautiful businessmen who have come out to take over and manage some fighters. A lot of times you hear the stories of the managers robbing from the fighter. This is a relationship that has just grown from the amateur days of Holyfield.
Well, he's put himself in the right hands. Holyfield, coming out of the Olympics, one of the most popular and publicized of the fighters, even though he didn't win the gold. Many of the fans in the U.S. thought, of course, he was robbed when he was disqualified in his fight with Kevin Barry of New Zealand in the semifinals. And he let loose with a ferocious left hook to the head, which knocked Barry out cold, but the referee disqualified him, saying that he hit on the break. Not allowed in amateur fighting. Holyfield has continued to show that aggressiveness as a pro.
It should be quite an interesting fight against Kawi. It really has a fighting style nothing like the fighting style you're seeing in Mims.
Short, choppy punches by Holyfield, as Mims now coming back here in the 4th round, showing some spark. The uppercut from the right by Mims.
Mims wobbly on his legs, Holyfield pushing him back, and Mims staggering as he backs up. He's got to be having on his mind his favorite person in the world, 5-year-old daughter, Paris Celan. And that is probably what's keeping him on his feet.
And that is what is keeping him in the ring at the age of 33. As Mims is getting tired here in the closing 20 seconds of the 4th round.
Now at the weigh-in today, Mims asked Holyfield for an autograph.
And then when he also asked you for an autograph, started to think. So 4 rounds are down, and our main event scheduled for 10. LPGA Golf will come your way Saturday, June 7th, and Sunday, June 8th, when USA will bring you the 1986 McDonald's Championship Women's Golf Tournament live from the White Manor Country Club in Malvern, Pennsylvania. Saturday's coverage begins at 3:30 Eastern Time with 3rd round action, and the final round coverage begins at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. LPGA Golf live in June on USA. Terry Mims surviving through 4 rounds, and here's some of the punishment that he took in the last round, and even dished out some.
He is trying his hardest, but he's in against one of the top young cruiserweights on this planet.
And that is Evander Holyfield coming out for the 5th round. Holyfield stepping into the ring. Confident young man, never felt that his July plans would be in jeopardy against Mims. Those plans, July 12th, with Dwight Cowie for the championship, WBA style cruiserweight division.
The cruiserweight division is an interesting division. It should have been around years ago. I think Floyd Patterson, instead of being heavyweight champion, he only fought at around 190, 95 pounds. He easily would have been a cruiserweight champ, but today there's not all that much talent. Once you get past the Dwight Cowies, Leroy Murphys, Carlos De Leons, and perhaps the Olympian Henry Tillman, the heavyweight champ in the Olympics, that's about it.
And the right uppercut as Mims goes down, followed by Holyfield.
Well, this hard ring has claimed another victim because that was a double knockout. A hard shot sent him down, and as he went down, he hit the floor so hard, blood pouring from the nose. There's no way.
Evander Holyfield is a perfect 11-0 as he records his 6th straight knockout, wearing Mims down in the 3rd and 4th round, and then striking viciously with a right there in the 5th as Mims crashed to the canvas, with blood pouring from his nose, and now he is very slowly being helped to his feet, and quickly goes over to embrace Evander Holyfield and wishes him well in his next endeavor, which will be for the WBA Cruiserweight title against Dwight Muhammad Cowie. This is how it ended in the 5th round. Holyfield with the uppercut in close, holding on, and there is the right uppercut again, timber. From a different angle, it was 2 uppercuts. That's the setup by Holyfield. An uppercut of his own by Mims left him wide open, and almost a delayed reaction. And down he went as they get tangled up. Holyfield falling over his fallen victim. So it turns out to be a nice workout for Holyfield, and Mims, who has seen just about them all, now congratulating Holyfield and wishing him well. We'll get the official time on this 5th round shortly, as Terry Mims now certainly quickly to his senses, although it appeared as if he may have been out for several seconds, suffering his 12th defeat in 30 fights. The 33-year-old veteran coming in, perhaps showing Holyfield inside some of the tricks of the trade that he might contend with. against Kawi in July. And Holyfield, here's the time.
Ladies and gentlemen, in 1 minute and 12 seconds of the 5th round, the winner by a knockout and still undefeated, Evander, real deal, Holyfield. Holyfield right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, we'll see the real deal in another couple of months. So now the sights are set. Everybody is out of the way. A quick rise for the former Olympian, Evander Holyfield. 11 professional fights, 11 victories, 8 by knockouts, and he is now ready for a championship fight. And we will now hear the words from Evander Holyfield, trainer Lou Duva, stepping in alongside of Randy Gordon. And now let's go into the ring.
Well, the man is title bound. He did it tonight, got the tune-up out of the way, and now he's on his way to a title fight against Dwight Kawi. That should be a lot tougher than the one tonight. You look like you were carrying him for a while, will you?
Well, the guy with pressure, man, I was trying to counter, trying to slip some jab, work on my defense a little bit, and not actually go out and just try to explode, trying to see how fast I can knock a guy out. I try to go in for the work. If I can take him, I'll take him, but really, he had pretty good defense, and he slipped a lot of my jabs and everything.
You're about a month and a half away from one of the most dangerous fighters to come along in years, the short, powerful, explosive Dwight Muhammad Kawi. How will you fight him?
Well, I'll go out there and fight him. I would fight him in the center range, try to keep him on the end of the jab, and try to work my body shots on him.
You know he's going to be right on top of you.
Oh, yeah, I know that, and that's the reason I'm going to go get down to business and train real hard like I never trained before. But I'm going to be ready. I'm not expecting that easy. The man is the champ, and I want to prove that I'm better, so I had to go out there and give it all my best and go out there and defeat this guy.
Ken Sanders, you're new to the business. You're managing this guy, the first fighter you've ever worked with. What makes him so special?
Well, he's a great person to start with, and he's also my best friend.
What does he have as a fighter that makes him special, aside being a friend?
Well, he's got a great heart. He trains real hard. He's real loyal, and he's going to be a world champion.
Captain Lou Duva, your birthday today. What a present it was from Evander Holyfield, because now you get to manage perhaps another champion.
Well, Real Deal said he was going to give me a birthday present tonight, and he gave me a birthday present tonight. But all I can tell you is one thing, Randy. He will stop. You hear what I tell you? He will stop Kawi. You can bet on this here. Anything he can do, Evander can do better. He's stronger. You're going to see one hell of a fight over there, but I'll tell you something. To give our battle plan away, it wouldn't be just the right thing to do at this point. Well, he'll come out with a battle plan. He's going to make the fight so easy out there. Kawi better be ready, because he is going to be his last fight.
Lou, you've been second-guessed before. A lot of people say you're throwing Holyfield into a title fight, perhaps before he's ready. True assessment?
Listen, everybody's got a right to second guess, you know, but I've been pretty fortunate. So far, I haven't been wrong.
Evander, you had a chance to perhaps wait a few more months. Would you like to take a few months reprieve? Or do you want Kawi right now?
Well, I want it right now. I let my trainers and trainers will make the decision on that. They know how I work out in the gym. They watch me, and they look at me very carefully and go over me very carefully. I don't think they would put me in a situation I couldn't handle. And I feel like if any man comes in the ring, I feel like I can beat him. If I feel like I couldn't beat him, I wouldn't show. I wasn't even go in the ring to fight.
You had Olympic teammate and stablemate now, Tyrell Biggs at ringside. Mark Breland is on his way up in the welterweight division. Pernell Whitaker's on his way up in the lightweight division. Do you feel any jealousy at times with the other guys as they get some publicity?
No, I don't feel any jealousy at all. I think each and every one of us deserve every little bit of attention we get. And boxing is an individual sport. If you want some attention, you got to get in there and perform. And so each and every one get their chance. So when you get the opportunity, you have to take advantage of it.
I've been hearing talk that should you beat Kawi, you're looking at Michael Spinks. Could that be true?
Yes, that could be true. Matter of fact, it is true. My manager and my trainers and stuff, they working at first thing I take the first step first to beat Kawi.
Field round final.